What's this photo?
Oh, damn. That's 1987. Backside Smith stall. Could be 88. It's probably 88. But anyway, the backside Smith stall on the big block at Embarcadero.
The sweatpants?
Yeah, sweatpants. And a generic indie shirt my mom got at the flea market.
What's
And
this
that one is 1986 with the SMA shirt, Ollie in a bum that's sleeping on the wave.
Hi, what's up? Welcome back to the Epically Latered Show. This episode is about James Kelch. When I first moved to San Francisco and I wanted to be a skate photographer, he was probably the first pro that I got to shoot pictures with. James Kelch in the early 90s was known as the mayor of EMB. People always have stories about, maybe people being jerks down at EMB, but James being really cool. But he did definitely run some scams. We asked James some questions, and then I'll run it by Meza or Mike Carroll, and they'll say that what he's saying is not true. But then there were some things he told me that I didn't think were true, and then they were true. So I don't know. I think he's just a really good storyteller, and he likes to embellish a little bit, maybe. People talk about James like he's a super amazing skater. So in the course of making this episode, Meza sent us lost Kelch tapes that I think are really awesome and really show why he was pro. And here it is, James Kelch episode. You moved from Ohio. How long did you live in Ohio for?
Before
You moved
I went to San Francisco, hardly at all. I was born here and we were in a military family, we moved around a lot. So hardly at all ever. Just come to visit and stuff like that. Well, I moved to San Francisco from Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana.
You went to high school in San Francisco?
Yeah, I went to middle school and high school. Trail Hill Middle School, Galileo High School.
Galileo, the one in...
Where OJ went to school. It's on Van Ness, down by the wharf, yeah. It's a pretty gnarly, rugged school, man. Sure changed the way I looked at stuff.
And how'd you start skating?
I lived on Treasure Island and was just cruising around on my bike one day, and I seen this kid skating down in one of the little squares. I don't know what they're called, cul-de-sacs or something like that. Just some kid back there skating. He did a little bonus off a bumper of a car. All these people were around, all fired up, and I was like, wow, that's dope.
When did you first go to EMB?
I went to EMB the first time around in the middle of '85 or so, where I took the bus into the city, got off and just to skate around, first time skating in the city, and I asked some random kid with a skateboard, I was like, where do people skate? And he was like, well, there's this plaza down the street. I see skaters there every once in a while. I just skated down there, never left.
Oh, so it wasn't a spot that people skated regularly then?
Not at all. I'd go there all the time, there'd be no one ever, all day long. Me and someone I might have come with. And then randomly though, you would see maybe Tommy or someone would skate through, do a few tricks and leave. But mostly you would see Kim McGuire doing hand plants. I used to get heckled for sitting down there all the time. They used to tell me I wasn't a real skater. So I would go to their spots and show them that if you learn to skate one place, you can skate anywhere, you dummies.
Back then, if I'm 11 years old, this is 87. If you skated in 87 and you bumped into a kid in San Francisco and told him you skated, he'd ask you how high could you ollie. If you could ollie the highest, then you was the best skater out there. And Kelch for sure could ollie the highest at Embarcadero.
At the time, I've been going to Embarcadero for a long time, just randomly, because I live just outside SF. And he's probably somebody I've seen there throughout the years. One day, I was just filming my friend, and he was like, hey, do you want to film some stuff, And we filmed a couple of lines and a couple of tricks. So I would just go film with him and that dude, Jake Vogel. He was trying to get on one-on-one with Jake. We filmed this one line, he seriously skated through the whole place. It was super sick. He had been sponsored, but I think Dogtown might have went out of business. Maybe a week later, it was funny. He was like, there's this company, all these dudes are gonna quit H Street. Mike Ternowski's leaving. It's gonna be called, I don't know if he knew the name. I guess he knew the name. It was gonna be called Plan B. He named off all the dudes. He was like, it's gonna be Caro, Hensley, Sheffy, Rick Howard, Danny Way. He's like, they maybe want me to be the AM. Jason Carney. I remember that was another AM. He might have said Eric Costin too, but he definitely said Jason Carney was going to be the AM with him, you know? So that's what we were filming for, his Plan B Sponsor Me video. But then, like, I think later I got to know Mike, and he was more like, you know, he's like, I think it was just me being like, yeah, you should, like, try to get on, you know? I mean, at that time, I was like, James was so good, I was like, it made sense to me. I was like, that's sick, dude, that'd be so rad, you know?
Did the footage you filmed with James, that early footage, end up anywhere?
None of it. You know, he's a little bit older, he can fight, he can, like, hook up with chicks, you know? So he was, like, a cool dude to all those dudes, you know, so they all looked up to him. You know, as many people as like maybe he was mean to, which I don't think was that many, he probably would be the one dude who would say hi to like a random guy out of town, you know?
People came to him because they knew he was going to be the bodyguard, you know, the big brother, just the whole Embarcadero regulator, you know. I can remember like something going down. My buddy was trying to sell some weed, got punched in the face, and I ran to get James. Like I was getting the fucking cavalry, you know?
Tell me about stealing boards. I've heard rumors of that.
If you came through and it was one of them hectic winters and no one had a new board and you had all brand new shit and you just got out of your mom's Lexus or whatnot, yeah, you're probably gonna get your board stolen. It's the same as if you wear a big ass huge gold chain and go hang out in Oakland real quick. I mean, it's nothing, it's different. Everyone thinks, oh, just because they were skaters, we're still just city kids. But it wasn't an everyday, like crazy out of hand, you go there, get your board stolen. It gets exaggerated way out of hand.
I mean, he's always been that personality, man. Cool as the Fonz, young Burt Reynolds face. He always had that charisma, man, ever since, you know, he was young. I guess when you got it, you know.
James's car.
SFC.
Here goes the front panel. Hold on, let's see what I can do with this wheel here. Hey, let's see if we can start it. Look out, everybody, it might blow up.
What? What's the scene with this car? Why is it all fucked up, dude?
Because fucking dumbass Billy took it and ruined it, and him and Jeff and Dune. Come on, P. Out of the way, Gatto, we got company. Simpsons, blah, blah, blah. I swore I seen it just laying right here. Yeah, film the whole shit. This is the real life. No Ferraris. No motorcycles. No nothing.
So when this video came out, what year was this video made?
The video came out in '93.
When the real video was made, you were already pro?
Yeah.
How did you first get on reel?
I knew Jim Thiebaud, and he was giving me wheels every once in a while. And then one day, I seen him and Javante and a bunch of heads skating brown marble benches. I just started skating the benches like a maniac, man, just trying to show off. And then Thiebaud called me that night and was like, look, I can't do pressure flips. And it was a joke, of course. And I was like, yeah, me neither, really. And he was like, well, we need a new pro. You want to skate for us? And I was like, well, of course.
So you just saw you skate one time and was like,
oh, no, he had seen me skate a million times, but I hadn't seen him in a while. Well, I was AM for other companies before I got on reel. Like Dogtown, H Street, 101 for a little bit, rode for Plan B for a little while. Yeah, I watched this video the other day. It's pretty gnarly that we even put a video out like that. Yeah, that's that girl Marley. Every time I look, she always has something to say. And bitch.
They're doing the wave?
Yeah. They were doing the wave. I'm a gymnast. Nollie late flip, only time I ever did it outside of a skate park. I had no wheels, I was just rolling on bearings right there. I was actually really proud of that back 780 nose gun. I used to feel real good. I was actually pleased I even worked the part out. I wasn't even barely skating when we filmed all this shit. When they came to me and were like, oh, the video's done, I was like, but hold on, I didn't even film.
You weren't skating a lot because of drugs?
Actually, no, it was mostly injuries at first, and then the drugs came with me just sitting around doing nothing because of my ankles. Because I had childhood arthritis growing up, rheumatoid arthritis. And so like I got all these crushed up clicking bones and all this bullshit, but I just would go around it. And then it started getting worse and worse till eventually I was just like, I'm not even gonna try to skate anymore, man. But then was still pro and doing drugs, tried to skate here and there. Dude, I would just be standing there like all drugged out, and Jim would just be like, do something. I'd be like, just tell me what to do, man. And then he would just bring up like a random trick he saw me do one time. I'd be like, all
You
right.
filmed at Meza?
Most of the real video was filmed by, I would go with Thebo, man. Because he knew if it wasn't him, I wouldn't even come out. Like all those other dudes would show up to get me and I wouldn't even go outside. I would be like, well, fuck off. But then Jim would come, I'd have to get up. Like, all right, Jim, let's go. He'd put me in the shower and shit, like, come on. It's very, very weird when I watch it. Like a lot of those tricks are like, toes are dragging, no one's rolling. Yeah, might as well just stop and pick your board up and walk away, except for Solomon's part. All I know is I was chilling on Oak Street one day at the Party Palace and there's a knock at the door like 7 in the morning. I open it, it's Gonzo, man. He's like, dude, I just saw your part, I love it. It's one of my favorites. He's like, you wanna go skate? I was like, oh, I didn't go to sleep all night. I kind of just shut the door in his face.
On Gons?
Yeah, and just went back in the house. I was too embarrassed to hang out with him. I was up all night doing drugs. I didn't want to hang out with Gonzo. He's like my idol. As you can tell, the house is a tad bit cluttered, so it took me a while to find it. My girl put this shit together, man. I don't know if that plastic's gonna be reflecting on you or not.
It's okay.
This one. This is how the skateboard industry works. Whether they, not now, maybe, but I know these guys always cared about me and everything, but listen to this story. It's a light brown coat, and you see all the dark spots on it? That's all blood and spray matter and people bleeding and shit like that. Well, I got in a big bar fight with these bikers, and I just beat their faces in. They beat me up too, as you could tell. So the next day I go down to Deluxe to get maybe cleaned up, some money, see if my eye's all right, it's all swollen, and get some clothes or whatnot. But instead of as soon as I walked in, then no one cared about any of that. They were like, dude, just go take pictures. I couldn't walk, nothing, couldn't get no new clothes. They're like, you gotta get photos of this shit. They just drugged me out to these abandoned projects behind Reel and took this photo.
How much longer did you ride for Reel after this?
After the video came out, so if the video came out in 93, 94, I moved to Visalia and lived with Kelly Bird and Deirdre. And then we were gonna go on tour, so I came to Ohio to hang out for a little bit. Went on the tour, left early, they wrecked the van. And so I'm figuring right before 95 started, they called me and asked me if I was skating and all that shit. And I didn't like the tone of whoever's voice I was talking to, so I told him, no, I don't skate no more, I quit.
You're talking to Tommy?
It was Tommy, yeah. He wasn't being a dick or nothing, but I could tell like he wasn't happy with me.
Here's a photo I took, it's really bad. Sorry.
It is the photo you took. I remember that day. Those are some tight-ass pants on my butt, man. Gross. Should have told me.
No, I'm not retiring.
Yeah. This is an ad I got like a month after I told Reel I was retiring.
Who is God?
Yeah, I got in Big Brother one time. It was the Who is God thing. They asked me a question what I think about God and took a picture of me doing a Smith grind.
What'd you say?
I said, here, when we read it, I don't even remember. I said, I believe in religion because I believe there's a greater force than ours. I think when people die, their souls leave to some spiritual place, whether it's good or bad. I'm not religious because the way people go about their religions is weird. I don't tend to judge others' religions because I don't care. The world's really a better place when people are religious. It keeps a lot of people nice. It changes psychos into somewhat normal peoples. I think most of the earth is evil because this is Satan's land to do with as he pleases. Most good things must be somewhere else. The only way religion has affected my life is when it's helped change some of my friends into better people. That's that. I'm gonna give a Solomon secret out real quick. Do you know for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, he used to skate the other way, and then he pushed Mongo.
What do you mean?
He skated goofy-footed, and he pushed Mongo, and people told him like, yo, you're whack. Unless I'm just making it all up. You never know, my brain's confused, but I remember all the story. Yeah, dude skated goofy-footed and pushed Mongo, and they told him, yo, you're a bum.